What's up, everyone? Welcome to a very exciting episode of the Boo Boo Project. Today, I have a very awesome guest for you guys. I would like to introduce you guys to Big Matt.
What up? How we doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been in the studio editing all morning. I've been playing catch up. I've been enjoying too much family time and not working hard enough.
Understand that feeling. I've been enjoying too much time off myself. I spent today running around to local businesses for sponsorships.
Oh, there you go. That's a struggle sometimes.
Oh,
That's a
yeah, it
struggle.
can be.
But it's a grind, man. You gotta, I don't know. I guess it's the best way we can pay for the dream, right? Is to go out and try to rep some people for a few bucks.
Exactly. I mean, it's worth it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
why don't you take a moment and tell everyone what you do?
So I do a little bit of everything here. I started what we call Five and Dime Productions. We started just kind of doing podcasts that we would film for other people, and we started filming our own. Me and my buddies, we just wanted to sit around, drink whiskey, talk trash, and meet cool people. And we've done pretty well at that. But we've also started making CDs and music video DVDs, and things for artists to try to help in that aspect. And we're getting into we've gotten into poster printing, and we're getting into music videos and some other things like that. We're going to build a booth and do vocal production. I've got a couple couple great people that we've partnered with to work with us on the music side, and big things, building a dream and having fun. But yeah, we started the long bus short thoughts, and it was me and my buddies drinking whiskey, and we met Justin Strawstone, who's Nice Enough Entertainment here in town, and he kind of, I don't know, man, I was in a weird spot with music where I didn't like a lot of the new stuff, and I was just listening to everything I grew up with basically on repeat, and occasionally, some new stuff would pop through, like some Jelly Roll. He kind of is an he's been around for a million years, but he kind of has snuck up on everybody now. But I was
Yeah.
stuck in the old music, and he kind of introduced me to the local scene, and there were so many good artists. It was amazing that I had never heard of, and so we've kind of really started interviewing a lot of them, and that has, I don't know, man. We had several artists on, and I had Matt Phoenix. He did a little singing for us, and then the Unconventional Kings and the Full Speed Family like kind of performed on the podcast, and that pushed me outside my comfort zone. I wanted to do, like more live music style performance on the podcast, and that pushed me to where I had to do it. And now we have started Bars on the Bus. And so now we have artists come by and sing us a song and then take off. And, you know, we've had some of them circle back to long bus short thoughts and stuff. And it's been, it's been a ton of fun. And when we do the Bars on the Bus recordings, it's 6 to 10 artists show up, and we have some food and just kind of run everybody through. It's like 10, 12 minutes a person, and everybody else kind of hangs out and networks. And it's been a big, beautiful thing, dude. And all fun.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you are really building something amazing here, and you're doing a lot of great things. I mean, you got the CDs and you got, everything going, and especially now with you being mobile and doing the bars on the bus, everything is just really seems like you have everything coming together really great for you. I'm happy to
And
see it.
we do actually have a bus, and it's money, man. I'm a I started this to get out of the semi because I was driving all the time, wasn't seeing the kids and family, and I started this to try to make it so I could be around, I could edit at home and still be around the kids and stuff. And I don't know, bro. I'm It was one of the best moves I ever made, kind of investing in myself and my family. Now I'm the poorest I've ever been, so that's why the bus isn't ready yet, but my buddy allows me to do it in his basement right now. But we will get the bus built. And I've thought about renting an RV to go mobile and get to some shows. I thought about South by Southwest, and I don't know. There's a ton. There's the Juggalos. Like there's a ton of events that I would love to get to and do some interviews, and just we're building to that.
And that's really why I'm trying to get you, up to this event that I have in August, because we have everything from, me being a positive, like conscious rapper doing real happy, positive stuff to we have, I'm not going to say names because it's not dropped yet, but we have two Juggalo headliners that were on the Icon stage for the Gathering of the Juggalos just this last year.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, and I would love that. Yeah, I wrote that date down here, and I'll have to see what my guys are up to, and that would be fun for sure. And man, who doesn't want to go, like, again, talk to cool people at like a concert and hang out with your buddies while doing it? It's, I don't know, man, sounds like a dream to me.
Yeah, it's definitely something crazy. And I mean, I've never even put anything this big together before. So,
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. I mean, I guess if you're not growing, you're dying, right?
exactly. And I mean, if you're not investing in yourself, where's your money really going? If you want to build it, you got to pay for it.
That's for sure.
A career is like a house. You can't build a house for free.
That's for your, man. My first year, I guess. I mean, it wasn't even. We would probably went the first 6 months. I think it was 40 shows before we actually had like a sponsor that was, but like for a long period of time. We'd have somebody that buy a show or two like that. But it was the first person to Habits Glass and Goodies signed up for a year, and this is our second year with them, and we just got two more sponsors this year, so we actually have three people signed on for a full year this year, and that's going to help a ton.
Yeah, that's definitely something that'll lower the weight for you. And I mean, I'm just now learning, like, how to go about getting sponsors and things. It's a crazy different thing than going out and finding clients, because
Oh yeah.
you gotta change it, like, especially if you're me, you gotta change your fucking speech pattern because every fifth word isn't exactly something a businessman wants to hear in a conversation.
Well, I am extremely blessed with my sponsors. I've known them for a long time, and it's people that I've known for a long time that have seen me grow and were willing to invest in me, and they just happen to own businesses. You know what I mean? I don't want to say everybody. A lot of people want to try to sponsor, but some people don't. It's money, dude. The economy sucks, and the dollar's down, and it's just but I am thankful for the three that I have that have gone. They just invested in me. It wasn't. One of them is my chiropractor, and I don't even know that he watches the show. He's just like, dude, he's known me since I was 15, and it's like, I remember the punk kid that you were to where you are now and the father you are, and just investing in yourself. It's so beautiful that I'm willing to invest in you.
Yeah, that's a lot of like how I picked up some sponsors today, is like people, recognizing me as, the kid whose name was always, coming out of the cop's mouth, now being the kid who's coming out of the businessman's mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yep. I was lucky enough to keep myself out of trouble, but I wasn't a great kid for sure, but I was able to avoid the law.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, me and the law wanted to have a long-standing relationship.
You guys like to flirt a little bit?
I guess so. So, where are you from then originally? Are you from where you're at?
I was born in Lincoln and lived down there for several years, but I don't know. I was probably 13 or 14, and I moved to Gretna, and then by 15 I moved into Omaha, and I've been pretty much in Omaha. I spent a couple years in Arizona and Florida when I got older, but came back to Nebraska. Everybody I knew was here, and most of the guys that are on the podcast with me, as far as like my buddies, are people I've been friends with 25 to 30 years. So it's, I don't know, man, they're more family at this point than they are friends. Most of them have been around and better to me than family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that.
So,
I mean, my family and I mean, compared to my friends and I, there's a big difference in how close we are, obviously.
Yep. Yep.
So, what was it like growing up in, Nebraska?
I don't know, man. Cold. It was cold, but I kept myself out of trouble. I did a lot of sports. I mean, I don't know. I was in kind of I grew up in a rougher neighborhood, but got along with everybody. You know what I mean? I used to get my ass kicked a lot when I was young, and then I turned 14 and got big, and that's what I'm saying, dude. I was Big Matt since I was 14, and started fighting. That was pretty much the point when my dad stopped whooping my ass too. I had enough courage to tell him he was done doing it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to, when you
Yeah.
get the courage and stuff. And I mean, I can't imagine that must have been rough, though. Still,
Yeah. No, I
I've been
grew up
through it, so
I grew up in an ugly place, but you know what? My kids have never been beaten. You know what I mean? Like I it I broke the cycles.
yeah,
You
that's
know what
my goal. That's why I don't have any kids yet, because I want to wait till I have enough money to make sure when I have kids, they never have to touch a scale like I had to.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I was that 13-year-old too. I was that 13-year-old too. So yeah, but yeah, dude, I moved out to a little town and, an hour north of Omaha is where I live currently. And I got no worries about my kids. They can go to the park, and you don't really have to worry about like you did Omaha. There's obviously still drugs in the small town. Meth is always a big thing, but I'm assuming I don't know, I'm assuming my kids will know the difference between that right and wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most you can hope.
Yeah.
I
And
always
I got good
say,
kids.
like,
I
and
got
I
four
mean,
kids.
what?
I got four kids. I got a 16-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old.
So a bit of an age difference there between the oldest and the youngest. They're
Yep.
definitely going to be teenagers in two different ages, that's for sure.
Yep. One will be in college while the other one's still playing, freshman year of football style.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll be 60 before my kids are all out of the house. If they ever leave, you know how that works now.
Yeah, definitely know how that stuff works.
Yeah.
See a lot of people still, there at home, but
Yeah.
it's,
I had my own place at 14. My mom moved to Connecticut, and I got an apartment and pretty much put on for myself from there on out.
wow, 14 years old on your own, taking care of yourself.
And I still graduated high school.
That is awesome.
I
Great job for that. Most people in that situation would have, given up school. I'm
I was
really glad you didn't
I
because
was determined to, I don't know why, but like, at the time, like now looking at it, a GED would have been fine. But like I was like, I am not going to be that guy. Like I am going to graduate no matter what. And I did. It was barely, but I did. Like because I was able to call myself out of school whenever I wanted. So I would work late because I had rent to pay, and I would work late, call myself out of school. And so I got to the point where they're like, dude, if you miss any more time, you don't graduate. So I had to really buckle down the last couple months, but I made it.
yeah, I made it to the day before senior year, and then they got all rude with me and stuff. And I said, "Okay, I'll be back later to sign my paperwork." And I walked out, signed my paperwork, and went and got my GED in 2 months.
And I probably could have done that, but it was what it was. I had a goal. That was probably my first ever really goal, like memorable goal.
Yeah, ever since like I didn't complete that goal, I've kind of like tried to overachieve on smashing the other goals.
Yeah.
So what was like your introduction into like video editing and media work and things then? Like what got you started in this industry?
I just wanted to do it. I didn't have any schooling or anything. I I wanted to do it, and I cast CapCut and was like, so I'm gonna put this stuff in here and figure out how to make it work, and I did. And dude, I still don't know what I'm doing. Like, I still have occasionally somebody will be over and be watching me edit, and they'll go, "Hey, dude, just do this," and it'll save me an hour. Like, I used to try to get the music track to line up when I when I was editing with the performance track, that they were actually listening to, and I couldn't figure that out. And all you have to do is highlight the two bars, and there's an AI way to do it, so it just matches up. And yeah, that there would have been a lot of time saved. Schooling could have helped a ton.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know mine had AI for a long time. So, like, I've made 2 concert commercials. And the first one, I'm sitting there, inching the lineup till it's perfectly synced with the video of their live performance. Then the next one, I double clicked it. Next thing you know, it moves and lines up. I was like, oh, wow, that would have cut my time well over half.
I was zooming in at like frame by frame trying to get it. It was, yep.
Yeah, like you zoom in, like you're watching, making sure the word on the track lines up with like their face, and next thing you know, it's there.
Yep.
And then you find out that you can do it with 10 times easier.
Yep. So yeah, I'm still learning, dude. It was the determination. It was my 44-year or 43-year-old, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to learn to edit. And yeah, that was I guess that was my old man graduation right there, if I'm going to do this.
I mean, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but
yeah,
I mean, you're proving that wrong.
Well, and I do want to get into the music production. Like I said, I've got 2 kind of producers here in Omaha that I'm going to work heavily with, but they're also going to be teaching me a ton while they do that, because I want to learn it. I can on FL Studio, I can put together a great beat and stuff, but I can't figure out how to make the program do what I want it to do. You know what I mean? So they're going to teach me all that stuff. And
the hardest part is always getting the program to do what you want it to do. Making great beats and awesome sounds, that is the easy part of the job, I feel like.
Yeah, making the sounds sound good.
Yeah, and I mean, always like, heck, you already got the production now of merchandise and things. Now we're talking music production. What's next? Management?
No, see, that's the one thing I don't want to. Management is the one thing I don't want to touch. And I grew up in violence, and I know this about myself, that disrespect and some certain things I'll fight you. Like, the first time this artist feels like he's better than somebody and says, "Hey, bitch, go get me a water," I'll fight you. Like, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to do that. That's the one part of the job I don't want to do. I don't know. We can find somebody, but I want to get a direct to garment machine and start, doing the t-shirts. I want to do everything for the artist. I want to be a one-stop shop, from promotion to CDs to flyers or posters, music videos, the music production, everything. Like, we want to be the hub. We're not there yet.
I want to be able to be able to work with you on all that stuff. Like, be like, hey, when can I come down? Let's do this,
Yeah. I mean, and that's
because having a more local source for my merchandise and things always makes me feel better.
Well, and I'm the kind of guy that I like to touch things before, I buy them. Like, when we started printing the posters, I had to go to Office Depot and feel the paper thickness and stuff before I was willing to buy it to print my posters. I couldn't just order it online. I want to do the merch, so I have my hands on it and I know what they're getting.
And I mean, especially with the being able to put hands on before I buy. I mean, for me, what's a 4 or 5 hour drive, to leave with a crate worth of merchandise,
Yeah, and I may or may not have a Airbnb connection down here that we can help artists in that way when they're around. And there's some we have put together a pretty good network here. So
That's the best thing you can do is the home network. Having a network at home base is, I feel like, is the first step a lot of people miss when they're doing any type of media.
yeah, and I
That
mean
home
it's
base connection is really like, that's the people that stay solid because you're representing where they're from, whether you are outright saying it or not.
well, and I, dude, there's a lot of this that would have never been done if it wasn't for my buddies. When we put all the equipment together, my buddy Rob, he helped make everything kind of work. And it's my buddy Danny's house. That if we didn't have this, we still might not be running because I might not have the bus done yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so there's been a ton of people. When we started making the CDs, my buddy Ryan loaned me $1,000 to help get the machine sooner, and we were able to get him paid back, and we're able to make CDs faster. Just I've appreciated everybody that is on the team in the network that is always helping each other, promote, and I don't know, hell, let's all go together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, we all gotta, go up together, or like, I mean, if you're not, I feel like building each other is the safest way to have like sustainable, you know, success. Because if
Yeah,
you're only looking to, platform and launch off of others, I mean, look how many failed.
yeah. And that was kind of when we started this. It was we didn't actually think people were going to watch. Like it was just going to be fun for us to giggle and be able to watch it later. And it has done more than we ever thought it would. The Long Bus Short Thoughts is 1,250 or more subscribers in 2.5 or 2 years, a little over two
One of the
years.
biggest podcasts out of your city, if not the biggest.
Well, they got, what is the Good Life podcast? I feel like they're bigger than me, or I don't know. They put on shows and concerts, and they seem like I've never really compared myself, like gone and looked at their numbers, because
Yeah,
it's
no.
not a competition thing to me. But I feel like they are way bigger than me.
And Good Life podcast, is that Good Life Records then?
Yes, same. They're the same people, same deal.
Yeah, I keep reaching out to them.
And we were supposed to have a podcast, and they got busy, and then I got busy, and we just haven't reconnected. And I'm
Yeah,
sure we
it's
will at some
hard
point. But
when you're in the media industry, interviewing media industry people, whether it's music artists, I do professional wrestlers, podcasters. I mean, schedules clash
yeah,
so easily.
so we just haven't gotten together yet. But I again, I haven't looked to compare, but I feel like they crush me. But again, I don't care. They're different than me. We're not competition. And I hope they are crushing me. Good luck to them. I want everybody to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
mean, if everybody wins, then, does the scene ever really lose?
that's right. That's right.
So, I know we had a recent situation with the podcast and a monster on it. I was wondering how that's affected you and the podcast.
Well, I never thought I would get into running background checks, but that is something we are putting into place. Um, just so we have a little better vision. I don't know, bro. It's an ugly world. I am I grew up in abuse, and I was molested as a kid. I will die on the hill of trying to keep others from that fate. So it was we at the whole studio, nobody is going to endorse any kind of violence towards children or women, or so we have just drawn the hard line that if there is anything like that, you're just not going to be in my house, and in the building at all.
Yeah, no, because you can't have things like that around something that's so great with such great people, because then people associate you guys who are such awesome people with something like that. And
Well, and I did have a person or two that were like, aren't you worried about the backlash, or what if the music community turns on you? I'm like, dude, honestly, they can burn the whole podcast to the ground. This is a line I'm going to stand on. So, like, I let the backlash come. And I did get a couple messages, but like, nobody was like threatening my safety or anything.
it seems like most of the scene is in immediate support of
Yeah,
you
I and
guys' decision.
I did receive a lot of, messages. I'm a new fan because of this, and and that, I love the support, because nobody needs to live that, you know what I mean? And then have to be on their YouTube and scrolling, and then there's your guy on somebody's YouTube channel. You
Yeah,
know
and
what I
I mean,
mean?
like, my guy, from when I was a kid, I mean, I've been through it, so, like, I mean, he tried to be an influencer. He didn't last because I did what anyone would do and immediately contacted everybody. And this was, back when TikTok was still enforcing the policy. So I reported every account constantly and searched their name regularly to keep them off the internet.
Yeah. It's sad that we got to do that. I hate the world the way it is today, but I wasn't gonna just be quiet about it. And there was a lot of, oh, you're defaming him, or but I said nothing except for, we are separating our business from him. And here's the photos of the reason why. And I didn't go searching for this. This was something somebody anonymously sent to me. So but it was my instant was reaction was, I immediately started deleting YouTube videos, TikTok videos, all that. It was immediately coming down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't,
And
especially when, like, you've drawn that hard line yourself. And I mean, you got people who care enough about your name and your image to immediately, like, hey, look at this.
yeah, and bro, I appreciate the hell out of them too, you know what I mean? But it did give me that wake up call that I should be doing some research on some of these people before I get them in here.
And it sucks
So
because, like, we always want to live in a world where we don't have to background check everybody that we interview. But sadly, we're in a world where, monsters hide as people. So,
yeah, and like, to be real, man, I mean, I was angry about that I had posted, like, that he had been on my podcast, and it was embarrassing at the same time. And again, I was angry, so I like wanted to go fight. Like,
I don't blame you. I mean,
so yeah, we're gonna do that pre-check from now on. And yeah, you're gonna have to TSA before you get on the bus.
yeah, I mean, with the way everything's been, I mean, you have to, because,
Well, it's
I mean,
crazy.
this
Everybody
guy
is.
hit as looked like a good person, seemed like a good person. Then, bombshell drops, and oh, wow.
Yep. Yep. It's an ugly world.
It very much is. But I am very glad that you did what you did. It shows, you're a great person and you stand on business, 10 toes down. What you believe is what you believe.
You got to stand on your things, man. You got to stand on what you're saying, what you're doing, you got to live that. Let's I got esse quam videre right here on my arm, which is, basically to be rather than to seem.
Yeah,
So, don't just talk about it, be about it.
exactly. So, do we
It's just
have
a
any?
fancy way of saying it.
Yeah. So, moving on, did we have any future plans here with Five and Dime Productions that
I
you
mean,
can
just
talk about? I mean, that we haven't already?
just continue having fun. I do have another podcast that I have been building. I just haven't I don't know. I still struggle with my self-worth and all this crap, but I haven't kicked it off yet. It'll come. I just haven't convinced myself it's ready to go. But it's coming. It's going to be directly, mental health related. Um, so it's, and that's kind of part of what started me doing the podcasting was I needed a way to try to talk to the homies and get better about talking about things. So I was what's going to be better at making you talk than starting a podcast?
Yeah, honestly, because I mean, I struggled to talk to people and everything, and now I mean, I can go out into the crowd at a show and walk around after I'm off stage, shaking hands and signing autographs.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes a difference.
podcasting really does help with that in such extreme ways.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So, do you guys put on shows at all then, or
We did our birthday party last year. We had Venom Stay Dripping up from Oklahoma. She came and performed, or she was our headliner. We had other performers too, but she was our headliner. And I don't. We're gonna have to see how the finances are this year. Like I said, we're trying to do a lot on a little bit of money, and yeah.
isn't
So
that how every great business plan starts? You try to do a lot on just a little bit of money.
yeah. So it's, do I have a party or do I build a bus? There's a lot of, do I save that money to rent an RV to go hit a couple shows and or big deals like you have on the 8th, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
so yeah, I gotta look and see how things, if the sales pick up, then I can do more. It's just a little bit of, which the CD sales have started off great this year. I've already printed 4 orders and it's, the into January. So that has been great. Keep the
What's the
CDs.
pricing on your CDs then that you
So
do?
for we have a couple options because we can do ink or laser printing, but the laser printer is so much more expensive to run. But I can get ink printed in the jewel case with laser printed disc, like the disc is laser printed as far as the artwork on it, but basically $5 a sealed case. And then, but if we do the laser printing, it's 550. And then I also offer the glossy paper. But I pay $1 a sheet for those, and I just charge the dollar. I don't charge any extra. You know what I mean? So it'll get up the top dollar. You're looking at about 650 a disc if you get laser and shiny covers. We recently printed Tabo the Truth's new album, his Dog Food 4. Um, and oh yeah, here, look, you can kind of see the quality of the disc printer.
Oh wow! And I mean, not only that, but that's a pretty big album to be doing so quick into your printing.
Yeah, well, he was somebody I was able to interview early on in the show. We've had King ISO on, and
That's one of my
Tabo
goals.
Tabo I think was kind of our King ISO was like, go check them out, bro. As long as they're good, we'll come do that. So yeah, Tabo came in, and so him and I have kind of talked back and forth off and on, and I've been a fan. He's got great music. So
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Tabo fan, and I actually saw him live for the first time because I was at a Tech Nine concert, and he came out as a special guest to perform Big Dog with ISO.
yeah,
That was also the day I met King ISO and told him I make music.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And
It's
yeah,
100% of the shots you don't take, and I took that one and still kind of missed, but I took it.
yeah, dude. I've sent emails to Tech Nine, like I don't know if he'll ever even open it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll shoot. I've shot my shots. I've hit up Whitney Payton and was that Seuss Mace. I've hit that dude up.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I'm out here. I'm reaching out to like ICP, Clockworky, Ouija Mac, Tech Nine.
yeah,
I've even tried Brother Lynch.
nice.
I really want to interview him.
Yeah. No, I've reached out to a ton of people. Well, like I said, you miss the shots you don't take. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like, I haven't been able to get in contact with Stevie Stone since I opened for him, but I'm trying
yeah,
because that
that
one.
was a good show. He did a good show.
I don't know. I think we were at two different shows.
Well, yeah, but he's still Stevie Stone put on a good show.
Oh yeah, definitely. He even performed my favorite song, which was like the only thing I was hoping he would do that whole show. Got a picture with him. Got to again pitch my music to him.
Nice.
Uh,
That's what's up.
that's how you do it, though, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, I know it's been kind of short, but I do got some things to do. Is there anything you want to tell everyone before I let you go?
Yo, as the homie Strawstone says, treat people decent. It's an ugly world out there. Call your people that could be silently struggling. Mental health is a real thing. Find your people you can talk to. I don't know, man. You're worth life is worth it. It's worth trying to find the way out of the dark. I have been there and I have found my way. Nobody's healed from it, but I've figured out how to live.
Yeah, and I mean, adding on to that, like you said, it's a rough world. I've been in the darkness. I've tried to go all the way into the darkness, if you understand. There is light. Listen to the homie Straw. Treat people treat people decent. Gosh, can I English today? And also check on your happy friends. Check on those comedians in your friend group.
True. Yeah.
And if you need to think about, I mean, look at the past.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. Well, yeah. Yeah.
But, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for that.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, everyone, for watching. I love all of my fans. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.